You're listening to Hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me, your naturally platinum blonde pop culture connoisseur. I'm the reality TV junkie, self-improvement addict, and host with only the hottest tea spilled fresh weekly. For more hot takes, go and give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. I always keep it funny and I always keep it cute. And if you're like me and you want to stay up to date with the latest reality tea, then go and give us a follow at No Filter with Zack on the Instagram. Or you can always join our private Facebook group. The link is in the description below. I hope you are sipping on some fizzy Housewives-inspired wine for yourself, packing a punch at 13% alcohol by volume, but less than a gram of sugar. It is my no-filter wine. It is Housewives-inspired, 4 fun designs, 2 fun flavors, 1 fizzy white wine, 1 fizzy rosé, available at nofilterwine.com. It's perfect for summer. Like I said, it's compact, so you can sneak them into your Uber, throw it in your purse, sneak it around. Nobody's going to know what it is. They're going to think it's an energy drink, and you're just going to have a fun Liddy City summer. So go and stock up at nofilterwine.com. Drink responsibly. That's what they tell me I have to say legally, so drink responsibly. All right, guys, I'm excited because today's guest she's a real delight. She's not an influencer. She's not a content creator. She's what I would consider a cultural phenomenon, landing not 1, but 2 Kardashian interviews on her very funny and mega successful podcast, Not Skinny, Not Fat. Please welcome the Amanda Hirsch.
Oh, thank you. First of all, love that you do your promo every week and don't pre-record it. That's so fresh of you.
We do it in the flesh.
Fresh. And thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. Phenomenon. Imagine I call myself that. People will be like, calm down. I'll be like, Zack said that,
I'll tape it for you. When people give me affirmations or compliments, I'm like, can you just record that so I can have that as my alarm in the morning? Let that be my meditation in the morning.
Yeah, right. Because it's so much easier to cling to negative things sometimes, where when people say positive things, you're like, oh, that's really nice, but it kind of brushes away really quickly, whereas the negative stuff can stay in your head. That's, I feel like, just human nature. So you're right. I'll make an alarm.
No, I love, one of my favorite things is to go on Twitter and see all the mean things that people have to say about me. It's like, that's part of my daily affirmation manifestation is I just love to see all the nasty, but the negative shit does get to you. Even when you're like, I'm a bad bitch and you're high-fiving yourself like Mel Robinson tells you to in the mirror. It affects you.
Did you mean Tony Robbins?
No, Mel Robbins. She is also a guru and she does her shit and I like to listen to her too.
Is she his daughter?
I thought they were married or something and they have zero connection. They're literally the same person, but she's a blonde white lady with glasses and he's not.
Oh my God, that's so wild.
It is. I thought they were connected, but they're definitely not. And so her thing is she has a 5-second rule and she's anytime you're thinking about something you don't want to think about, count down from 5 and it'll change your headspace. She's or give yourself a high five in the mirror because it boosts endorphins and it makes you feel hot.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm definitely going to take the 5-second thing. I feel like the high five will just make me laugh, which maybe is a good distraction, but 5 seconds is definitely a good thing to stop you from spinning.
I used to do the high fives in the mirror and then my mirror would just always have handprints on it. And I'm like, no, it looks like somebody was banging me up against the mirror and there were just handprints all over the fucking mirror.
Like Titanic vibes.
Yes. Okay, the Kardashians. I need to know how you landed these interviews. You had Kim and you had Khloe recently.
Right.
How did this happen?
Honestly, they reached out to me. Okay. And it's the greatest honor of my life. When I got the email about Kim, speaking of negativity, the first place my mind jumped to was that this is a joke. And I was like, how low can trolls go? Say go die is one thing, but tease me with, and fucking play a prank on me with something so important. No. So honestly, I was sitting in a nail salon in, I think this was February, and an email popped in and it was through my website, which I even forgot I have a website that you could do a contact me box thing. And it was from Hulu. And they were like, the Kardashians is about to come on Hulu. I was like, duh. And they were like, would you want to have Kim Kardashian on your podcast? And I was like, this is a joke? Like, this has to be a joke. Like, this is a joke. And I was so sure that it was trolling. Like, I was like, this is so fucked up that they're trying to like make like lie to me and prank me. And then I Googled the woman that it came from and saw her LinkedIn, and I was like, holy fucking shit, this is for real. But then my mind spun into like, why the hell would she need to do a podcast? I mean, she's not normal. She's not me going on podcasts, like she doesn't need to do a podcast. And moreover, she doesn't need my promotion for a show. I'm going to promote it anyway.
Yeah.
So those were the things running through my head, obviously, aside from excitement and freaking out, was kind of like, should I write back and be like, she really doesn't need this for her? But no, it was an insane moment that I, had to pull together real quick and say, you know what? It's fucking happening. And I'm going to take this opportunity with both hands, and I'm going to come to the moon to do the interview if I need to.
And you're with Dear Media, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like when you told them like, hey, we need to arrange for the Kim Kardashian interview?
They were like, this is our Super Bowl. Those were their words. And it was kind of like, we're willing to do it whenever, wherever, however. And I think for a moment we were thinking it might work out with her in New York, but listen, at the end of the day, you go to Calabasas. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you come to them, to Calabasas, and that's where it all goes down.
And so was there a pre-interview? Did you get to meet her before? Did you walk into the monochrome house?
Well, so this is what happened. It became a very Kardashian heavy time period because that same week that I was supposed to go out for the interview, that week, there was the premiere for the show. So I was interviewing her on a Friday. And do you remember when she accidentally leaked on her Instagram, like the premiere invite?
Yeah.
Not everybody caught that, but it was like I don't know why, but she put it up for like a few minutes and then took it down, and people were like, wait, the premiere, blah, blah, blah. So I remember I saw that, and I literally called my producer, not like, assuming or in any way thinking I deserved to be there. But it was kind of a half joke where I told my producer, wait, the premiere is the night before. I'm going to be in LA. I'm interviewing her on Friday. Wouldn't it be so cool if I got to go and like break the ice and like get to meet her? I was like, how do I score this invite? Like, I need to do this. So actually, like I communicate closely with one of the people on her team. And I texted her kind of trying to hint at her. I was like, when is the premiere again? Because I'm coming to LA tomorrow. And she was like, it's on the 17th or whenever it was. I was like, okay, cool. Like, again, I was like, is she going to say come? So she didn't get the hint. I was like, well, I tried. And that night, my agents called me and told me that I got the gig to host the red carpet for them for Hulu. So I did get to meet her the night before at the premiere. So it ended up being a very a full Kardashian week. And it was really cool. It was cool to get to meet her the night before and see the premiere. And, even though I wasn't going to ask her really specific questions about the show because nobody had seen it at that point. So yeah, I got to meet her the night before and everyone, and it was totally like a confidence boost, because they were so nice to me and so welcoming and so warm and so, just made me feel like at home, that I walked into that interview even more confident than I thought I was going to be.
Were you nervous interviewing her? Because like this was like Dear Media's rooting for you. Hulu's like, we're trusting this bitch. Like, what was the head talk, like the mind talk that you had to like work yourself through?
You know how actors, like I remember when I was an actress for a hot minute or tried to be, it was like in the audition room, like the waiting room, I'd be shitting my pants, having an anxiety attack, like dying, right? But the moment I walked in to the room, it was like, game is on.
Game on.
So it was kind of the same. Like I was nervous before, but I think that whole week leading up to it where I got to do cool things and kind of feel that, okay, I've been working towards doing this. I deserve it. Like you said, people are rooting for me. People want me here. I didn't win a Make-A-Wish Foundation. You know, I worked towards this for many years. So I walked in with confidence. It's also like, it's so much more nerve-wracking to interview someone you know nothing about and you kind of don't care about, and you have to do it. It's like, I could literally watch Kim for weeks and probably fill up entire days with questions for her. So I think that's something that made me not so nervous, because it's like, I'm not going to run out of questions. Like, there's so much I want to ask her and talk to her about. So I wasn't nervous, and the mindset that I had to go into was very like, I deserve to be here. People wanted me to do this. Like, I'm not, yeah. It was this like, you know, it was this whole other, what do they call it? Like when a singer has like a alter ego.
That's
yeah.
You're Sasha Fierce, you're Lala Kent.
Right. So my sister came with me, and it was actually, we recorded at the KKW headquarters, like her office, which isn't, I guess, KKW anymore. And we went to the bathroom, the monochromatic, everything, obviously. And my sister was like, oh my God, can you believe it? Like, Amanda, where are we? Like all the stuff that I'm like, Ariel, no. Like, this isn't the vibe. Like, if I did that, I would be like, I wouldn't be able to do it. So I had to like not be in that vibe, be in like the, yeah, shake a salad, you know, drink a whatever. Matcha. You're in it to win it. Yeah. Feel hot, you know, so I came into it, you know, feeling like I deserve to be there. And I think it went really well.
And how did Khloe happen? Did you reach out to them? You're like, hey, so Kim went well. Can I have Khloe?
No. So actually, well, the Kim thing really did, you know, I feel like the public response was really positive, which made everybody very happy, including myself, and I'm sure her and her team. So we were talking about that, like, oh, the response is really great. This is so fun. And they were like, Khloe next. And I was like, ha 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 ha. And they're like, so May, you know, 13th or whatever date. And I was like, wait, really? And then it was for real. And I was like, I can't believe I'm going back to LA. I had just gotten back, and I was like, here we go again.
And Kourtney, is Kourtney happening?
Well, the thing is with Kourtney, and I like utterly feel her, because she's my main bitch. Like, she was my main bitch for so many years, though they're making it very hard for her to remain my main bitch, since Kourtney and Khloe and Kim have been so great. But Kourtney's vibe is not a podcast. Like, she's not a sit down. You know, if you watch the show, you know, she's always very nervous about public speaking.
Yeah.
Even in interviews, she's always like giggles at the end, because she's like, you know, she's kind of like insecure, I feel like, about talking. Yeah. When I did the red carpet and got to meet her, she was actually so warm, so nice. And I feel like she gets the rep a lot of being like the colder one, and like Khloe's so great, and, you know, Kim is so nice. But she was so warm to me. And she said, like, not once, but twice, and I clocked that shit. She said, we should do a day. We should do a day. And now, if you guys watch the latest episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, she had Benny Drama on. So she told me at the premiere, she was like, we did it with Benny. It was so awesome. So I feel like that's more her vibe, like a very kind of put together, organized, like pre-thought about kind of vibe, where she could be like silly and not have to like talk too much about serious things. Even though I do feel the confidence that if I had her on, we can make it fun, and we can make it where she doesn't feel like she's, you know, going to be tripping over her words. But like, I'm going to manifest some sort of vibe with Kourtney. She was my OG. Like, it's special when my listeners tell me, Amanda, if somebody told me that they listened to an old episode where I was talking about dream guests. And I remember they said that I said about the Kardashians, like, that I'm not going to even name them as dream guests, because it's so far-fetched and it's so not plausible that it would happen. And that's such a special, wild thing, which reminds us that dream, because dreams can come true, and let yourself go wild with them, even if they sound really ridiculous.
Yeah.
And just how, just how special that is. So she was actually like my OG. I would want her.
Yeah.
But again, for some reason, I feel like she's not comfortable doing them, but we'll still hope that we can do something together. And if not, then 2 out of 3, 2 out of 5 is good too.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get a Jenner, that would be great too.
I know. I feel like I've been harder on the Jenners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they don't make it easy. They don't give us much on the show.
This week we got like a phone call with Kylie. Like we didn't even see Kylie. We just got like her on speakerphone.
Wait, Zach, but she gave more on that phone call than she's been.
No, I'll give her that.
When she said, is Tristan the worst human being we've ever seen in our lives? I was like, this is the best soundbite we've gotten from Kylie. Like, in on a phone call. But like, what did we get from Kendall? Her parallel parking.
Yeah. And her cucumber. Like Kendall doesn't give us much.
So they make it hard. Like I feel like they need to, reality TV, you got to work for it. And I feel like they don't get that still. Like you got to give us something.
Well, I think because they've never had to, it's always been keeping up with the Kardashians, and now it's the Kardashians. So the 3 girls are the main fixture. They're kind of there just because they kind of have to be, and they have all their boundaries, and, Kendall does therapy. Like, they have all of their, their walls up because they don't really have to give. Whereas I think the OG 3 gave us everything from the beginning, and they're like, this is just who we are now. Even Kourtney's finally giving us more. I mean, she won't give us, Travis climaxing in the doctor's office, but we got close.
Oh my God, we got so close. Hands, feet, cum. I mean, you're right.
Was it 3 or 4 times a week?
3?
3 times a week that she has to
drink
it?
Oh my God, is it 4? I can't even deal. I can't deal with
I'm like,
her.
that's like, it's not like he's putting it in a protein shake for you. Like, it's literally just swallowing. Like, why is everybody like so shocked that she's drinking his cum 4 times a week?
I think it was just shocking, the fact that like she wasn't sure why, because she said she doesn't know if it was high iron or low iron. So she's not even sure what problem so it's like, no, you just literally want to swallow. So just like fucking say you want to swallow.
Yeah.
No, she's pushing the boundaries for sure this season.
I think swallowing is underrated. I'm just going to say that. And if it helps with iron levels, then let's do it. I hate giving blowjobs. I think they're the worst. Like, who needs the TMJ? But like, listen,
when I met my husband, like looking back, I think when you're really in love and at the very lustrous stage of a relationship, you want to like show how wild you are and how you love every part. Now I'm literally like, clean up, like go shower. He's probably like, who is this bitch? And why did I marry her? This is not what I signed up for. But I think that I feel like it just shows how like in love you are with the person, that you want to like swallow every crevice of their body and crawl inside. And I think when you've been married for 11 years, you're like, no, like take a shower and eat better, because that didn't taste very good.
Are you team Kravis or team Kim and Pete?
I think, first of all, I was like #1 Kravis fan when they started. Do you remember when they started with the commenting?
Yeah.
And it was just like, we were like, wait, is something happening? And I feel like we all kind of manifested this. I have to be honest that now it's kind of becoming a lot, where I know for some people it's becoming like a lot. I'm not there yet. I'm still like, oh, and I love it. And like, I'm so happy for them. But I think there are moments like the bachelorette party with the potion, and everything is like themed, very like Dracula vibes. And that's very not me. But then again, like I can't, they're also like Disney adults, I'm not a Disney adult. I don't subscribe to that vibe. Yeah. But like they're in their own vibe. So they're a lot right now, but I also believe in their love, So it's like, they're a lot for me to like keep shipping and be like, ship, because like they've given us everything.
Yeah.
Like they've given us so in love, we would like take bullets, die, come drinking it, like all the things where like, we get it. You're cute. You're forever. I think with Kim and Pete, it's just more exciting right now because you're like, that's so hot. Is it going to last? What's it going to be like? Oh, he's with her kids. That's really cute. What's Kanye thinking? So I feel like they're giving us like fresh Kravis vibes.
Yeah, I think Kim and Pete will eventually fizzle out. I think he's the rebound. I think she's loving it because it's so different and so out of her element. But eventually she's going to figure out what she wants. With Kravis, I feel like they're going to tone it down eventually. Like, it's not going to be as hot and steamy, but the love is there. Like, on the show, what was it, last week or the week before? The Come episode where he's just like, she's like, I'm going to be a total bitch on this cleanse. And he was like, I would rather have a day with you as a bitch than no days with you. I was like, see, like he loves her. It's love wins, Amanda. Love wins.
I just wonder who's bitch in the relationship. It feels like he might be her bitch.
Yeah.
Like if you've noticed, there was that whipped moment. And then there was also the moment where it was like, I think it was the dinner at Chris's where he's like, babe, what are we drinking? And like, she tells him what they're drinking. And then when they go to the doctor for the IVF, she's like, stay in those PJs, like stay in the onesie. Yeah. I feel like Cord is kind of like a control freak. And I feel like she can control him, that he's just really easygoing. And that's kind of what Scott was alluding to when he was kind of being a dick about it. And he was like, well, he can like deal with it. I feel like Courtney needs somebody that like Travis to just kind of go with her flow, do what she wants to do, eat the shit she wants to eat, not put up a fight, and that works. But listen, I'm still gonna hold on to hope for Kim and Pete because I think they're so hot. But I do get what you mean. I had a friend who told me a whole theory that she has about them. And I was like, oh my God, damn. She said kind of like what you were saying, like they're so hot. He's so excited to be fucking her, right? It's like, what a dream. She's so excited to have this like young, hot, fresh, different, funny guy, you know, going with her everywhere and like being with her. But like both of them probably need something different. Like he is a 28-year-old comedian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not built for this life of like going with her to Ripley's Believe It or Not and like helping her scoot into the dress. Like, I feel like that for him when I watched him. Did you see that BTS content?
Yeah.
When I saw those moments and like Pete having to stand there, like fly to Orlando for this fucking dress fitting, be in that room while like 1,000 people are trying to get her in the dress, like all this shit. I was like, wow, like that's not fun stuff. Those are like errands that are like, oh, and boring. And he has to be there. And then she like told him with the hats, like, don't wear the hats. And even though it's still flirtatious and hot, you could feel that like a lot of things that he does are not her vibe. Like the over silliness, or like even on the Met red carpet. Do you remember when Lala was interviewing them?
Yeah.
And she was like, babe, come in. And he was like, not in it. You could tell that she was like, no, come in. Like, not in a bad way, but just in a way that like, yeah, maybe it'll work because they're so different. But you're also kind of like, wait, this isn't exactly it. But I hope that we get to like, but who thought it would last this long? I mean, it's almost a year.
Yeah, I think she's having fun. And I think like I give it max 2 years. I don't see them going the long haul. I think she's having fun and eventually she's going to be like, okay, I'm bored with this. And eventually he's going to, I think there's a very sliver element of it from his end that's like he's enjoying the perks and the growth and the lifestyle that comes with dating all these famous women. And I think he's just along for the ride and he knows it's not going to last. And he's just like, okay, I'll be here until she's done with me, you know, but until then, I'm going to give her the D of her life.
I think that he's going to get hurt. That's what I also like worry about.
Oh, he's definitely going to get hurt. And I think he knows that. He knows he's going to get hurt and he's kind of cool with it. And he's just like, I'm here for the ride because at least I can say I was dating Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, that's the thing when you were saying before, like Pete gives out such a vibe of like, doesn't give a fuck, smokes weed all day, lives in its mom's basement, comedian, New York, whatever. But at the same time, he's dating all these mega rich and famous women. And obviously that's a choice, right? It's a choice to like not date the girl he grew up with or like, you know, a fellow SNL cast member, producer. So I feel like he's not exactly what he seems like. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he loves that life.
Yeah.
He's down with a PJ. He's down with the paparazzi. Like, I feel like he kind of likes it, which isn't what it seems like. Cause I feel like with Ariana Grande, we were like, oh, maybe they just fell in love, or else why would he be with like, you know, a mega pop star if, you know, he didn't want this fame and all this shit. But then you're like, no, wait, he's dating only women like that.
Yeah. He wants it.
He loves it.
He loves it. He's like, you give me the big lifestyle, and I'll give you the big D.
Yeah.
I have a theory about the wedding. Or, well, I don't know if this is like my own fan fiction theory, but I think because when they have big events like this, like they're really tight-lipped about social media. They like take people's phones. Like usually they like to control the narrative. But Alabama, Travis's daughter, was one of the few people that was like actually posting videos and photos on her Instagram story that night before any of the other sisters did, before anybody else from the wedding did. I feel like she broke some of like the rules. And then, but they couldn't really get mad at her because it's Travis's daughter and she like scares me. So I think she scares them a little bit too. But I think she, you know, was just like, I don't care what Kris Jenner, I don't care what the Kardashian rules are. I'm going to Instagram them at the altar, and I'm going to take a picture of Kourtney in her wedding dress before any professional photos get put out there. Like, I think she's just like zero fucks given.
I think so. I have a theory too. What I think is like, I feel like Kourtney wants to be like the beloved stepmother, and she doesn't want to I feel like Kourtney wants to differentiate herself from her family in the like, in all the vibes, you know? So I think that she doesn't want to be the like, no pictures, like, you know, the first ones need to be approved, like all this shit. So I feel, especially with Travis's kids, I feel like she's so in love with him that she wants his kids to like love her and not, and think of her as like, you know, their second mom. And I feel like even if she's pissed inside, she's like, you know, it's Travis's daughter and I would never say anything. Even, do you remember she missed Kim's SNL? She's like, it's Landon's birthday.
Yeah.
Like Kim was literally like making faces at Steph and Tracy, like, oh yeah, his birthday. So I feel like she just really wants to do right by his kids. But Zack, not only did she post pictures, she posted a live video where it looked like it wasn't that fun of a wedding. Like, that's what I would be pissed about, you know, like post a pic, let it leak, but you're going to go live and like at a cheesy ass part where like, it doesn't look like it's that fun.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Listen, I don't think any of their kids, because the kids aren't even mic'd when they film. Like, the kids have no mics on. Like, it's the overhead mic. And even then they talk so low that you can barely even hear them. Like, they're not playing by any of the rules.
Yeah, I agree.
No, but I loved the wedding. I mean, it was a little too Dolce & Gabbana for me. It was like a little much.
A little.
It was a little too hashtag ad, but I was still living for it. Okay, I want some of your hot takes on some of the other pop culture moments, okay?
Yeah, sure.
Kim in the Marilyn Monroe dress. What were your thoughts? A lot of people didn't love it. Did you like it on her? Did you like that she wore the dress? Did you like the weight loss of it all? Thoughts on every detail.
I think she looked amazing. So I really like the dress on her. I think she's psychotic for doing what she did to wear it. I think that these are things that are really important to her, but like nobody else really would care if it was a replica from the beginning.
Yeah.
I always say like the fact that she even flew to Orlando, like I would literally be like, wait, the dress is in Orlando. No, like hashtag canceled.
Yeah.
Like not going, like scratch that. So like she takes things to the next level. I feel like nobody could really relate, but to her, it's so important to get like every detail and wear the dress and blah, 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 and lose the weight. Listen, I think like it's weird that she didn't think about what a wave of, you know, chatter it would cause for her to literally talk about this crazy weight loss she had to do so quickly. And And I think some media outlets that wrote about it or talked about it maybe did feel like it was glamorized or not mentioned in a negative light, which it kind of maybe should have. Like, I think it was written about in a way like, and she lost 16 pounds to fit into it. Like, how amazing. And it's like, wait, that's wild. And it's wild to do in a short amount of time. But because I know Kim, I know that it came from a place of like, she wanted to wear this dress and she was willing to do whatever it fucking takes to wear the dress. And like, all of it is crazy. And that's like another crazy part. But I don't think that should mean, or any girl should take it upon themselves to be like, oh, I need to fit into a dress. Like, no, get your size.
Yeah.
The dress needs to fit you. She just wanted to do a very specific moment in history and she wanted to fit into her specific dress, which again, to me is wild. Did it look great? Yes. Could she have worn a replica that was made to I mean, she wore the replica. We couldn't even tell.
Yeah. You couldn't tell the difference. But I think you're right. I don't think she was trying to send that message to people. She was more of just like, this was my own grit and determination to have this moment. And what a moment, because we're still talking about it. And I know this is a hot take and I get dragged every time I fucking say it. I think Kim Kardashian is our modern day Marilyn Monroe. I know people don't like that. I know people don't agree with that, but I just think the icon that she is today is the icon of like women and beauty that Marilyn was at that time.
I can see that point. I think that you can love them, you can hate them. They are pop culture. Like, you know, I love talking about celebrities and gossip and entertainment. And there's so many days that are so dry and there's nothing going on. Like, they're always bringing it. Something's always going on. They care about what they do. Like, she knows her role in this world. She's not leaning back on her 300 million Instagram followers and being like, I could kick it back and not do anything for the rest of my life and do just like ad deals. No, she's hustling every day and doing this kind of crazy shit that she doesn't even need to do. It's like, just wear a fucking dress. But, listen, I also think that like they talk about it, like they, you know, Hollywood and weight is a crazy thing, right? So many people, so many women, like people in Hollywood look exactly the same. They don't represent what we actually look like. I feel like with the Kardashians, even though they don't, they have let us in over the years on how much they work hard for their bodies and it doesn't come naturally. Like they always say, Khloe says, we're foodies. We love to eat. Like we need to work out to like look like this, or we need to do whatever. So at least that's a little bit of a positive, you know?
Yeah. Thoughts on Army Hammer and the DMs? And do you think he and Erica Jane have banged?
Wow, that's such a throwback, Zach. Bring me back to 2020. First of all, it's so funny when people look back at that time and remember it as like Army Hammer cannibal. And like, no, you guys, he's not a cannibal for real. Like we covered that. We came to a conclusion. It was a wild moment there where we thought he was eating entire human beings, but it turns out it was just a turn on for him to talk about body parts and blood. That was a wild time. The DMs, all the women that came out. What happened with that? Like, that was the thing. It's like, where are the allegations? Where's him kind of taking responsibility for that? He's hiding out in the Cayman Islands. His whole family's in the Cayman Islands, his wife and the kids. I don't know what's happening with them, if they've reconciled. He was like in rehab. Remember, he was posting those videos from the Cayman Islands, like with drugs. Like he's wild. And what's so wild about him being this wild is if we saw his typecast in the movies he was in or whatever, we would have been like, oh, like Hollywood actor, polished, like tall, blonde, blue eyes. And he's like crazy.
I want to eat your blood. Do you think he and Erica Jane have ever banged since they were neighbors?
I could see them banging.
Right?
I feel like he'd bang. I feel like why not? You know?
She's been on like a sex escapade.
Wait, how did that rumor come about?
With her, I don't remember. It was probably like a blind item on like Demois or something.
Oh, it was a blind item. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I could see it. Oh my God, do you remember him coming out of that house like a mannequin? Like what happened like he was throwing like a huge blow up doll in like the garbage. Like Hollywood is fucking weird, man. Weird.
I agree. What's your ideal cast for Vanderpump Rules next season now that we know it's coming back? Like ideal cast, past or potential join, ideal.
Oh, that's hard. I'm a fan of the OGs, man. Yeah. I would want just the OGs. I don't think. Listen, DJ James Kennedy can bring it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if he's considered an OG. Is he considered an OG?
I think at this point, him and Lala have been grandfathered in.
Yeah. Oh, Lala. I would want the OGs. I would want, Katie, Ariana, the Toms. Listen, I would go as far to say I would love to see Jax again, and his, like, wouldn't you want to see Jax like being, I'm sure he's a good father, but those moments where he's, being so Jax about being a dad, like, Brittany, I don't want to deal with this, and like whatever. And Stassi just had a baby and Lala had a baby. I would love to see the OGs, even though I feel like.
Have you caught up with the latest Stassi versus Jax beef?
No.
So Stassi, she cut her wedding list from like 200 to 35
Oh, right.
people.
No, he wasn't invited, and Kristen wasn't invited either.
No, Jax was invited. And he, at the last minute, pulled out. So first of all, for weeks leading up to the wedding, he was texting all of Beau's friends, or all of his friends that happened to also be mutual friends of Beau's, saying, I'm not going to the wedding. I'm not going to the wedding. Screw Beau. I hate him. Whatever. He's a loser. He's a star fucker. Whatever. And then.
Wait, really saying that?
Yes. And so because they were mutual friends with Beau, some of the friends, he would send them like group text messages. So some of them would like screenshot and be like, Beau, do you realize he's saying he's not going to your wedding and he's talking shit about you? And Beau's like, this isn't real. And so then Stassi and Beau would ask Brittany and Jax, like, are you guys coming to the wedding or are you not coming to the wedding? Because if you're not coming, like, we only have 35 people coming. Like, we have other people that'll line up to come to, like, Zack Peter's ready outside to come to our wedding. Like, can I give him your ticket? And they were like, no, we're absolutely going to go. We're absolutely going to go. We're absolutely going to go. Then the day Stassi and Beau are flying out to go to Rome for the wedding, Brittany sends Stassi like all of these, this like novel of a text message being like, hey girl, so last minute, we're not going to be able to make it. And Stassi was pissed, especially because they kept asking him, like, one, why are you talking shit about Beau? And he's like, I'm not. And then they're like, we have screenshots. And he was like, oh, yeah, I did say that, but I didn't mean it. And then they were like, well, why are you telling people you're not coming to the wedding?
How do we know this?
Because Stassi and Beau talked about it on their podcast.
They did. And you're subscribed to the Patreon?
No, I'm subscribed to Us Weekly.
Oh, wow.
So there's like,
I didn't know,
beef. I mean, Jax is beefing with all of them. Sandoval he hates.
Right.
The only one he likes is Randall.
The thing is, we just saw Katie and Tom move out of their house. And it makes me sad to think this, but like with Vanderpump Rules, and the cast will say this themselves, like it's always so iffy if they'll get renewed, which is so wild because like, it's such a good show. I don't know why. I feel like somehow Bravo made Vanderpump like their like whatever show that they don't care about. Like, oh, we'll see if it's like fine to renew. But I'm like, no, the people love it. Like I know so many people are more into Housewives, but I love Vanderpump and Summer House. So when it was like, oh, we don't know if we're getting renewed, when Katie and Tom announced their divorce, I was kind of secretly like, damn, it's going to get renewed now. Like, I feel like that was such a catalyst to get it going, because having them both sign up for it and talk about it and having that like, which is like kind of sad they're going to have to put it out there, but also I'm sure they're happy that they have a job to go back to.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we're going to see that, and it's going to be interesting. If they're going to try to force like new people into that, that's what I hate, because then it becomes like, you're like, no, like Katie wouldn't be like talking about her troubles with like the new waitress at Sir. Yeah. Like that doesn't make sense. So let's let it go and just have on the oldies. But then it's like Katie, Sheena, and Lala and Ariana. Yeah.
I'm here for I'm here for. I would not mind them bringing back Stassi and Kristen and Jax. I think
Well, is that another wild thing? Like Kristen and Stassi became close again after everything went down because they were dealing with kind of the same thing. But Kristen wasn't invited to the wedding.
Kristen said she was invited to the wedding, but they had already agreed to go to somebody else's wedding in Hawaii that weekend. Which I would
wink,
bail
wink.
on. Yeah, I would bail on Hawaii to go to Rome. I'm sorry, I just would.
So no, I'm pretty sure Kristen wasn't invited.
Stassi even said recently in an interview that like her and Kristen aren't like when they got fired that brought them back together, but they haven't really maintain that consistent friendship. She said even with Katie, it's not as strong as a friendship as they had before because like Katie, was on the show and that's kind of her life now, and she's just in a different place in her life and she has a baby, and like that the witches of WeHo are essentially dunzos.
Yeah, the witches of WeHo got to see like 2 days of of light.
Do you think Shayna Moakler will ever come on your podcast?
No, she blocked me.
You don't think there's any way to repair that?
Listen, Alec Bald, I'm not blocked by a lot of people. And I like that. I don't like being, people sometimes like look at it as a badge of honor to be blocked. I'm like, no, I get really like hurt and offended and like, I don't want to be blocked. It made sense with Alec because like when the Hilaria Baldwin show was going down, I was covering the fuck out of that. Yeah. And even though it wasn't like evil, it was kind of like bringing to light almost every instance in which his wife was like a huge phony. So I'm sure that doesn't feel good. So understood, Alec, love your work, but like would love to be unblocked. With Shayna, it's like, I have nothing against Shayna. I was just team Kravis. So to be blocked because I was like, Kravis, like they're so hot, they're so great. And like maybe a couple times I was kind of wondering like what's going on with the kids. Because if you remember at the beginning, she was kind of vocal, like they don't come over, like they rather go to their dad's house because it's like fancier. Yeah, like that kind of shit. But nothing was negative. And even like I watched Meet the Barkers, like that was reality TV gold. And I loved Shayna. I thought she was so sexy and like such a vibe. So I would be happy to be unblocked and gladly have her on my podcast. And also I really wish her well. Like I really hope that she's doing well, that her weird fucked up relationship like leaves her life. Yeah. It's so toxic. But unblock me.
Right. Did you watch her on Celebrity Big Brother?
No, but I would. Like I was this close. It's like it would take a lot for me to commit to like an entirely new show that I don't watch. But like her and Lamar both being on, I was like, I should watch. But she was likable, right?
She was likable. People liked her until she left, and then all of her relationship stuff came out, and then it just was like, ooh. And then she started talking crap about Kravis, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah, she should have like rode the wave of like people talking like really nicely about
her. Her reputation was great when she was leaving Celebrity Big Brother because she was so burned on her way out that everyone was rooting for her, and then she ruined her reputation. And I'm just like, ugh. I was rooting for you. As a Tyra Banks, we were all rooting for you moment.
She has to date somebody like hot and like with a good reputation, you know, to like elevate her back up from like the way that Matthew Rondeau brought her down.
Yeah, I agree. Would you ever, when can we manifest Joe Jonas on your podcast? Now that you've gotten the Kardashians, I feel like Joe, is he your favorite Joe bro since you and Sophie are like biffles?
Oh my God. First of all, why do you think me and Sophie are biffles?
Weren't you guys DMing?
Oh my God. Yeah, that was a while ago. She, where did I say that? I'm trying to remember. Can't shut up. You know, when you can't shut up, you say it all. I would rather have Sophie. Thanks for, reminding me of that. I don't know. I was not a Jonas Brothers, like huge stan. Were you?
No.
Yeah. Like, what would I ask him? Like if Nick Jonas's nipples are were they photoshopped or like what? Like, you know what? But Sophie could be such a vibe.
That would be interesting. Sophie, I think, is the most interesting of the three wives.
Oh, yeah.
Priyanka and Danny. I'm
They're
still so surprised that Danny and Kevin, I forgot his name for a second. I'm still surprised that they had a reality show that lasted 2 seasons.
Wait, was it on MTV?
No, it was on E, Married to
Ah.
Jonas.
Ah.
And his brothers were literally like, we only went on that show because we felt so bad for him because his career was going nowhere after Jonas Brothers.
Yeah, that's really shitty. It's like for the Backstreet Boys to break up and like Howie, what is Howie gonna do? You know? Like throw him a lifeboat. Like give him a hand.
Yeah, or JC and NSYNC. Or wasn't there another one that nobody remembers?
No, not JC. JC was the hot one.
Yeah, but who was the one? Chris Kirkpatrick, yes. Oh, he was just on Celebrity Big Brother with Shayna and Lamar.
We'll see. That's where they go.
Oh, man. I remember one time my mom texted me and she's like, oh my God, my brother Ethan, he has autism. And so they have like these, like, they're in different classes. They're all in the same grade, but they're like in different classes. And I remember she texted me one time and she's like, Chris Kirkpatrick from NSYNC sent in a video and he's like shouting out Ethan's class. And she was trying to get me, or it was another class. It wasn't Ethan's class that got shouted out by Chris Kirkpatrick, and they were all sending the video around. And she's like, can you get Donnie Wahlberg? Because I used to work with Donnie and his wife, Jenny. She's like, can you get them to send a video shouting out Ethan's class so we can, like one up the Chris Kirkpatrick? And I'm like, what did Chris Kirkpatrick actually send me? She sends me the video, and it's literally a cameo. It says cameo in the corner. I'm like, Mom, they paid for this. Somebody paid.
Oh my God,
Chris
we need
Kirkpatrick
to check.
$100.
It's $100.
It was $100.
No,
like housewives.
Up it.
Yeah, housewives charge more. Bethany Frankel charges like $500 for a cameo.
Wait, no, I need to see how much Chris Kilpatrick takes for a cameo now.
It may have changed now that he's done Celebrity Big Brother. But I remember it was literally like $100.
That's crazy.
If that, it may have even been like $75.
That's so cute.
But he was doing it. But my mom was like, can you believe they got him to send a video? I'm like, they paid for this. Like, she was so like wowed by it.
Okay, found it.
Oh, he's now 159.
My God.
He's upped his rates.
Oh.
He's doing his thing. He's living his life.
Yeah.
He's trying. He's no Lance Bass, but
Lance Bass really like rode the wave. I feel like he's even more famous than Justin Timberlake.
Well, because he came out as gay, and then everyone was like, "Oh, we're interested."
Yeah, we're obsessed now. Yeah, and he's like friends with everyone, and he like pops up everywhere, and it's like fun. I feel like, yeah, Justin Timberlake, nobody likes him anymore, so that's a problem.
Yeah. Where are we going with not skinny, but not fat? Like, what is the next? Is it going to be, are you going to be the next Grace Helbig going from YouTube to a canceled show on E to try and replace Chelsea Handler? Like, what is the manifestation that we're trying to get here?
I don't know. I think there's part of me that just wants to ride the wave. And, I'm very aware of this industry. So even though fun and exciting things happen, I'm very aware that like how fickle it is and how things change all the time. And, I'm always like, listen, I have a college degree. I have a resume. If your bitch needs to fucking get a 9 to 5, your bitch will get a 9 to 5. So yeah, that's me being like a pessimist, sometimes, but I think it's good because it keeps you like very level headed. Like, it's not like, oh, booked one gig, I'm off to Hollywood. It's like, I'm 34 years old. I have a family. So I'm very like rational about things, but also I think manifesting can sound to people like very like sound bathy and like, up in the stars. Like, no, I feel like for me, manifesting is like wanting something, believing you can do it. Like we talked about before, even though some things you're like, oh, I can't like say out loud that I want to be a singer. Like, how's that, so believing you can do something wild that seems that it's hard to do and working towards it. So I want to keep on interviewing really cool people. That's really fun for me. And if like, I feel like what would be my dream? Yeah, it would be not a reality show. I wouldn't want to do a reality show. I could, let's manifest like a talk show.
I love that.
Yeah. See, it's so embarrassing to say what your dreams are. Do you know what I mean? You feel like, I can't say that. That sounds too big. Or like, who am I to think I could get that? But it's like, no, say it out loud. Believe that you could do it and have it. And you know what? Maybe you will.
Yeah, I mean, the only people that get what they want are the ones that are crazy enough to believe that they can.
Yeah, you need like delusions of grandeur to like make it.
You really do. I always tell people because people are like, you're so confident. You're so confident. I'm like, I'm really just delusional. Like, that's what it is. I am not confident. I am solely delusional and I live in a land of my own. And that's the only way I'm able to move through it.
But Zach, that's exactly it. You need to be a little delusional because think about all the successful people and the actors that slept in their car. And like, that's so much more than I'm willing to do, you know, to succeed. But like, good for them that they were like, no, I'm so hot. I'm so talented.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a movie star. I'm not going to eat. I'm not going to like sleep in a park. Like people do wild things for their dreams and it's because they believe they can. And even if you feel like believing that you can is like a wild idea. And it's like I'm saying, like, even for me that I have hit some, you know, goals of mine, it's still weird to say out loud big dreams and big goals. It sounds to me like, who do you think you are? Like the evil me in my head is like, who do you think you are to say that you can do? It's like, no, bitch, you can do it. So be a little delusional, people. Yes. Think that you can, you know, do whatever you want and maybe you will.
Yes, my friend, I was just talking to him the other day and he was telling me that he got this therapist and how the therapist told him that like his work ethic was unrealistic and his goals and his dreams were a little too high up in the sky. And he's like, I walked out of there and I went straight up to the owner of the facility and I fired her. He's like, I was like, nobody's going to tell me my dreams are too big. And I was like, these are the friends that I need in my life. I was like, I need people that are going to fire their therapist because their therapist has a small mind.
100%. I'm down with that friend.
So who is the next dream guest now that Courtney's still on the list, I would imagine. But
Courtney's still on the list. I would love to interview Hailey Bieber. Britney Spears.
Britney, that would be a wild one.
I know. That would be imagine though, if you got that interview. Maybe she's getting married today, dude.
Is she?
Wow. She's allegedly getting married today.
Oh, okay, Britney.
Yeah, she's getting married today. So yeah, I would love to have Hailey Bieber. I feel like it's good timing. Road is about to come out. Britney Spears would be really cool.
I feel like you need to do a Call Her Daddy collab.
Really?
What do you like her?
Oh,
like go on her show.
Oh, I don't really know her, honestly. I know that now. I think I saw her Julia Fox one because it was while the shit was really hot. And that's when I was like, oh, I thought she did like sexual things.
Yeah.
And I'm such a fucking married prude that I didn't really know it before. But that's how I found out about it was a Julia Fox. And I obviously like recapped it. So I was like, you guys, this is what happened. Julia said this. That was a hot fucking moment for Julia. Damn.
Could you see Julia on Housewives?
I would watch again. Like I haven't watched the last season of New York because it was kind of like meh.
Yeah.
If Julia went on New York 100, that would be so smart of Bravo.
They need to make it happen. It sounds like she's willing to do it.
I feel like there's not much she's not willing to do.
Her and Leah could do it.
I know that could be a vibe. I should have asked Leah that. Leah was just on my podcast. That would have been a good question if Julia should come on Housewives.
Andy asked her and Leah was like, I don't think she would say no.
Right. She did say that. True. So. Yeah. I think it could be a vibe. But now they're like dividing the Housewives. No, it's like OGs and something else.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. I was like,
they're trying. I think they're trying.
They're trying.
I think they're trying to see what works because obviously the same exact format needs a little sprucing.
No, I agree. Even like there were rumors that new Housewives shows were coming. I'm like, I don't add anymore. I don't want another show. I don't want another franchise.
Yeah, I don't know how people keep up. It's like people that are fans of the Housewives and can watch every single one. I'm like, how are you doing it? And like for me now, it's like I know I should have watched Beverly Hills like from the beginning. Everyone is saying it's so good, but like, what do I do now? Do I start from And it's not like 10 episodes a season. It's like 27 or something.
Yeah. It's a lot. I mean, you can start now. I mean, the women have changed. Beverly Hills is my favorite, but it's been my favorite from the beginning. Even when it's had really bad seasons, I've loved it for all it's good, and I've loved it for all it's bad. It's good right now. Yeah, they just launched Dubai, and I'm not like super jazzed about it. Like, I'm trying to give it a try to recap it and stuff, but I'm like,
What, it's not very good?
It's not that. It's just that we've seen this formula and we've seen all of this for so long that it's just like it's kind of becoming stale, you know?
Yeah.
And then the hard part is it's like you have a stale formula with new women that at least with the other shows, I know these women and I have emotional investments into these women that like having to get to know someone new doesn't sound as exciting to me.
Right.
I don't want to date more people at this point. I just want to be single for the rest of my life. I don't want to emotionally invest in anybody else. I'm done, Amanda.
I feel you.
I am ready to have a baby though. So when I see your baby pics, I'm like, oh.
You are?
Oh my God, I want a baby so bad.
How old are you?
29.
Okay, you can like
29
chill for
next
a minute.
week. Yeah. No, I don't want to be an Andy Cohen. I want to be a young dad with a young baby.
I don't want to be an Andy Cohen.
I don't.
A burn.
Nothing against him, but like I just don't want to be an old dad. I want to be a young, hot DILF, and I want to be like, you know, the hot single dad that like all the other dads want to bang. Like I want to walk in to the nursery school and have all the dads that are in their long-term gay relationships that they're secretly resenting because now they have open relationships and they have to invite a third person in to spice things up. And I want to break up somebody's marriage. You know what I mean? Maybe not like actually, but like I just want to be a fight between them about how they want to bang me.
See, guys, no dream is too big.
I literally have neighbors that live in my building that have an open marriage, and I've discussed it with them on numerous occasions in detail, and I'm still offended that they have not invited me in yet.
Did you say that to them?
I did. And they're like, we're going to discuss it. And then it just never goes. I'm like, okay, so you don't want to bang me. Thank you.
That's kind of like whenever, you know, I hang out with gay friends, lesbian friends, and I'm like, so you're not like attracted to me at all? Like, I don't get it. And they're like, I mean, like, seriously? And you're always like secretly, you're like, wait, but I'm a girl. You're into girls.
Yeah.
Hello, am I a pariah? What's happening? So I totally feel you. My ego is way too big to not be invited into the open relationship down the hall.
Exactly. Well, there are a few floors up, not just down the hall. But it's a quick little, like, let me just swipe my key and head up the floors and I'm there and we'll go. Let's go. Downtown Judy Brown. Listen, I don't even need to do both. Like, just give me one. But my theory is that they won't let me in because they're just going to fall in love with me and then I'm going to ruin their marriage. You're
too hot and they want to pick somebody not hot so that it's safe.
Yeah. So that it's not intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, on that note, thank you so much, Amanda, for coming on.
Oh my God, of course.
No Filter with Zack Peter. I'm sending you some wines so that you can be Liddy City this summer.
Love that.
What are your social handles so everyone can go give you a follow and support the podcast? What are your socials?
Oh, sorry. I'm just dancing to the music. It is Not Skinny But Not Fat on Instagram. And that's the name of my podcast as well.
It's good. It's funny. The account is funny. You have lots of great memes. You have lots of cute pictures. I saw you were just at the Coldplay concert. And I was like, oh, I want to go to a concert. I actually did just go to a concert.
But you could also just watch it on YouTube and it's kind of the same.
I mean, at this point, everyone's used to the virtuals. Thank you guys for listening to hashtag No Filter with Zack Peter. That's me. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. Follow the show at No Filter with Zack. If you want to keep up with all the latest reality tea, go and listen to Not Skinny But Not Fat. Give her a 5-star review on Apple because that's nice. We like to do nice things for nice people and we want to spread that positivity. We can fuck the trolls on Twitter and the neighbors upstairs. All right, guys. Love you. And I will talk to you next or this Wednesday. Yeah. Today's Monday. Well, I'll talk to you on Wednesday. I have Danny Pellegrino on the podcast and we're going to spill some tea. It's my birthday episode. So get ready. This is the last year of the 20s. Thank you, love. Last year of my 20s and I'm ready to just have like a full year of yes.
Yes, queen.